can one phase the dungeon boss Ekthar. In today's video, I'll be sharing how I've been doing it. It's actually pretty easy when you have the right team synergy, when you have the right subclasses and weapons set up for yourself. We were doing this all day trying to get loot drops because the dungeon is actually farmable, completely farmable. And so every single time you do it, you will get a loot drop. Now, keep in mind, if you do kill the final boss, that actually gives you double drops. So if you're trying to do the most efficient loot farm, you could actually just focus on the final boss and trying to one phase that boss. But if you have problems one phasing the final boss, it can actually be kind of tough. You can definitely much easier one phase this boss as a team. So I would recommend maybe starting here with your team, seeing if you can successfully one phase this boss. After you've done it half a dozen times, then maybe move on to the final boss and start to one phase that boss. You actually can use the exact same strats more or less because we're basically just using rockets for this one. The exact team synergy we have here is one Titan. It's going to have Falling Star, Missile, Exotic Chest Piece. So that way their super does a ton of damage. They're going to be using Izanagi's Burden and a Hothead Rocket, preferably with Clown Cartridge. Not everyone will have that exact god roll, I know, but a lot of you probably do because it's been really, really good for a long time. And if you don't, I would highly recommend to farm it from Zavala. You can get those Vanguard Ingrams, you can focus them, and hopefully you can get yourself a god roll, or at least a near god roll of that Hothead Rocket, because it's extremely good for burst DPS. The second person we have just has a well lock. It doesn't really matter what exotic you use anything you want. Starfire is obviously not what it used to be. And Sunbracers, although they're really cool to spam solar grenades everywhere, it's really not the best overall damage to the boss. So I'd honestly stay away from doing that. I would actually try to focus more on shooting your Hothead Rocket if you're the well of your team, because you're going to have the same rocket on as well. You're going to have that Clown Cartridge rocket. And then the well person will also have Arbalest on. And the reason why is because they can break the shield. It's not 100% necessary, but if they do have it on, they can break the shield significantly faster, getting you into the damage phase a lot quicker and allowing you to hopefully finish the one phase pretty easily. Third person, which was the class that I was using Tether with Orpheus Rig, and this allows your tether to last a little bit longer. And I was using G-Horn, so I would buff the other two hotheads on my team. And then I was using a Slug Rocket. And obviously all of our boots all have triple surge mods based on the heavy ammo that we're using, so that way we do as much possible damage output. After we had fired all of our rockets, then we would of course just go to using, Izanagi's Burden, Arbalest, or in my case, the Slug Shotgun. And it was actually pretty easy to consistently do this. We did it for almost an hour or two, and we rarely ever mess it up. So hopefully you have as much luck as we do in doing this. Let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed. Smash the like button. See you in the next one. Later.